Welcome back. Today I thought I would go into a little bit about how to use SourceTree and Git. I know that's been a source of confusion for many students. So what I'm going to do is I just want to show you the basics of this and how I use it. There are lots of ways that you can use this, but what I'm going to show you are the ways that I use it. This is generally what you'll see right here. So you'll have the repo's title, and you'll see your branches right here. So if you have a master branch, but you don't have a develop, generally you're going to want to follow the Git flow, which is you need to have a master, which is your production branch. You need a development branch that you can merge your branches into. And then you can have your other branches, which get merged into develop, and then once you reach a certain point in develop, then all those changes get merged into master, and that's when you make your application build. So if we only have master here, we want to make sure that we have a develop. So we come over here and we find our Git flow button. And you don't have develop set up, this will pop down, and so we see that we have our production branch, which is master. We have our development branch, which is develop. We have a feature branch prefix, release branch prefix, and a hotfix branch prefix. So we don't need to worry about any of that. All we need to do is just hit OK. So now we can see that we have a develop. And we have a master, but our develop is just local. So we'll need to make some changes to be able to push up part of our develop branch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. Okay, here we are back. As we can see, we have some changes in our main activity here. So we are on develop right now, our develop branch. So we need to type out a message. And I'm going to go ahead and commit that to develop and push it up. Now this is going to pop down. And as you can see, we have a local develop, but we do not have a remote develop. So we need to push our develop to the remote. So we just check that button and hit OK. That's going to go ahead and push. Now if we look right here, we have a master and a develop. And we can tell that they're both on the origin. They're both in the repo because we have an origin master here and we have an origin develop. So we have a local repo, and we also have our repo in the cloud. So depending on what kind of development you end up doing, we can either hit the Git flow button to start a new feature or a new release or a new hotfix. But what we do at my place of employment, we branch off, and we just do our first name because there's enough. We have no repeats of names at Touchin. We have no repeats of names at my work. So I do my first name, and then I do the name dash of dash branch. And this is, the branch name should generally be what you're working on. I know that there are sometimes when I make a branch name, and I try to stick to that, but sometimes you can't. And then that's understandable. But we're going to go ahead and create this. And then I'm going to go make some changes to my local code repo, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. I have added, if we click on file status here, we can see what files I've added to the repo. Well, they're unstaged, so I haven't added them yet, but they will be added. So we have all these files because I added a login view. So we want to make our commit messages as specific as possible. So I'm going to say added login activity. And we're going to go ahead and commit that to this branch we have right here. I'm then going to push it up. Remember, we want to push our local branch to the remote. We're going to hit OK. Now if we go here, we could see that we have a master, we've got our develop, and we have our new branch right here. All right, so now we want to start working off of our develop branch, but we're on a branch right here. So what we need to do is we need to merge what we have. And I never use this button, this merge button, this merge button. I always do so we need to create a pull request to take our login activity and merge it into our develop branch. So now what we do is we come down to our current branch, we right click on that, and if you click on create pull request, it should automatically jump to the repo and pull request here. So we don't want to merge into master, we want to merge into develop. And so then we want to close the branch after we merge. And this is where you add reviewers. So, for example, if you want to keep me in the loop on your projects, you'll add me to your pull request, and then once you have the reviewers in here, you just click, make sure that you're on develop, that you're merging from this branch into this one, into develop. Then we want to create the pull request. And we'll let that churn for a second. Okay. So now we can come back here and we can see all the changes that we've made. And this is the point where the reviewers come in and they take a look at what you've done. And if there's something that they feel like you could work on, they could leave comments. And you can also create a task for the pull requester to do something. And so once they've completed that task, they just check that off. And then it'll say up here that all tasks are resolved. So if we unclick that, and we'll just refresh this, we can see here that we have one open task. And you can, if it's a large pull request, you can click here and go straight to it. But then once all the tasks have been done and everybody approves it, and you'll see, like, I don't know why this is broken. This image is broken. But you'll see once everybody's approved it, they'll have this green check mark by their profile image. So once they're all done, the person that's in charge of merging the request will click merge. And so this is what they see. And this is the commit message that they see, and they just click. And generally you close the source branch, and so the source is this branch that we have right here, and we're merging into develop. We don't want to close develop, but we're closing the source branch, which is this one that we've had out here. So if we click on that one, and we wait, all right, we can see that this pull request was merged. Okay. Now if we head back over to SourceTree, okay, so now we can see our graph here, which is representative of what we just did. So our develop and our master were kind of in the same spot. We branched off here, and then we merged in Jake/name of branch. Now I want to show you what happens if you have Now I want to show you what happens if you need to stash and what we do for merge conflicts. Okay, so I will set that up and then I will be right back. Okay, so let's say I've made some changes, and that while I've been making these changes, we've had something happen where we need to merge develop into our branch. So what we need to do is we just need to get rid of all of our files here. We don't want to throw them away, but we need them gone so that we don't have any conflicts. So what we do then is we come up to here to stash, and then we come up with a name. I'm guilty of just going like this because the stash never stays for long. I always delete it when I'm done. But if you want, you can give a better message. So and then we could stash those. And if you notice, it only stashed the ones that were yellow. So purple means that it's a new file that the repo hasn't seen before. It's not tracked. The yellow ones were tracked, so they were ones that were changed. And those are the ones that you can get the conflicts with. Okay, so now we're going to see what happens when we have a merge conflict. So give me a minute to set that up and I'll be right back. So here's an example of a merge conflict. So here we have a bunch of code. The red is what's been deleted. The green is what has been added. So here, I just wanted to show you a merge conflict, and this is what they look like. So you'll see over here this little icon, and it's an exclamation point. Here we can see what I have in my branch and what would happen. So from here to here is mine, and from here to here is what's on develop. And so I have a couple of choices. So I could either overwrite everything that was in this merge, so I can merge it with my changes. I can merge it with their changes, or I can go in manually and adjust things. And personally, I'm of the mind that until you know exactly what you're doing, you should go in manually and fix it by hand. And sometimes you can discard lines, because sometimes you don't even need to merge a branch to merge it with their changes or with yours. You just have to delete some lines. So I think that's about it. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you. Go ahead and email me or leave a comment below on the YouTube video. Thank you very much.